All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to Watch Lookout, and this is another episode in my State of the Collection. We got a big boy here in front of us today. This is a watch by Lige, although they don't blatantly advertise that, and there's no branding per se on the watch itself. This is the Lige USA D5 Diver, or the D5 USA Diver, and it's often advertised as FEELNEVER, that the brand is FEELNEVER, but it's not FEELNEVER unless it's a sub-brand within Lige. This is a ginormous watch that when I saw it, I had to have it because in some regards, I like tool watches that are quite large and ridiculous at times without being Invicta large and ridiculous. Of course, I have a couple Aragons that are large and ridiculous. One is large and ridiculous. The other one is large, but doesn't look that ridiculous. And this is a big boy that sort of sits at that sweet spot between those two Aragons that I own. This is a heavy watch, too. It comes in at a whopping 277 grams. So this watch is basically nearly a one-to-one homage of the brand RGMT, their Demolition watch. So RGMT, I guess that's Regiment. They have a watch Demolition. It's basically a one-for-one homage. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if they're not made at the same factory, but that the factory has put their own branding on it. It's curious. I'm not exactly sure how that worked out, but it is basically identical. So what we have is a stainless steel, solid stainless steel case and bracelet, and it is bead blasted, so it has that very, very nice texturized look to it. It has, I guess it conceals scuffs and marks because I don't see any in the time that I've owned it. I took receipt of it the last day of October back in 2023. I've worn it a handful of times, and like all my watches, it looks as new as the day I unboxed it. So this features a Miyota 8215 movement, but it's a newer 8215 that hacks. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Its case diameter is 47.5 millimeters. It has a case height, wait for it, 20 millimeters case height. The lug, I don't know, but it's, maybe 55 millimeters, maybe more. It's quite large, even though those lugs shoot down, beyond the case back, quite large. And it has a 24 millimeter lug width, tapering all the way down to 20 millimeters at the clasp. The clasp is a milled lower and a stamped upper that features a push button release. It does have a Lige logo there. That's really the only indication, and you'd have to know the brand because they don't spell it out for you. A couple micro adjusts there. Looks like 3 micro adjusts. On the back of the rather herniated case back is an etching of the globe. It's really hard to see though because no light reflects, but it's there. There we go. There you can see the globe. This has a whopping 500 meters of stated water resistance, and at the 10 o'clock position is a gas escape valve. You give it a quarter turn and pull it, and the gas escapes. You reseat it. It's spring loaded, so it goes back into position, and then you just give it a quarter turn in a clockwise direction to seat it back down. I got the dark blue dial. I think they also have a coffee dial. The Regiment brand does have a few iterations of this with chronographs, like 4 subdial chronograph. I think maybe FEELNEVER or Lige has a version of that too. You can see there, almost infinitesimally small, there is a date window there at the 3 o'clock, although it is a bit hard to see in this video, maybe the lighting. Those are applied indices, as you see, But unlike a lot of applied indices that are shiny, this has a distinct brushed and very flat. There's no curved soft edges of the applied indices. They're rather crisp and brutalist, rather severe, and they have that brushed look on the top. So they reflect light, but less so. That is a sapphire crystal that is domed. That's protecting the dial. We have an orange second hand. The lume is green. There's also lume on the bezel, not just the pip, but all the indices are lumed as well. And it's a sort of a weak green lume. The bezel, it's the interesting piece. This is entirely ceramic bezel. It's not a ceramic insert inlaid into steel. The entire bezel is a mold of ceramic. So that is quite interesting. What else have I mentioned? Yeah, I guess that's about it. So yeah, 277 grams for a 500 meter water resistant watch. I really enjoy having this watch on my wrist when I wear it. It's a big boy. It's a little unforgiving, but it is kind of a statement. I don't know. It's not like when a guy drives a big truck, okay? It's not that. So if that's what you're thinking, stop thinking that. And this, like I said, is not Invicta big. But it was pretty cheap too. I think right now it's for sale on AliExpress's website for like 91 bucks. And I think I must have paid in and around that amount of money, maybe 100. Not exactly sure. But it's a nice, quirky tool watch to add to the collection. All right, guys, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, drop a comment. All right, cheers.